Exploring NEURALINK. What is it and how will it change our lives? Have you ever heard of the name NEURALINK? At least you would have seen a macaque doing a video game that was pretty viral on social media. What do you think about that video? Is that really possible? How could the macaque play the video game so easily? Did it get some training? These were the common questions that arose in our minds while watching the video of that macaque. We just put these aside for a moment. So what do you think about putting a chip inside your brain? Could you even imagine a chip inside your brain? Well, don't panic. We are here to share an interesting technological concept with you since we are not interested in wasting your precious time by asking lots of other things. As usual, we can enter into the deep trenches of today's topic as soon as possible. So let's start with it.
This is Techtastic.
As we are thriving in the advanced technological scenario, people must have a large hold on every existing and updated market aspect. So our people, especially our subscribers, have the skills and requirements to adapt to the dynamically changing technological era. So in this video, we are going to explore NEURALINK. As usual, we will cover the aspects of the basic concept step by step. First, we are going to take a look at the base concept of NEURALINK. NEURALINK is a venture put forward by Elon Musk. This venture is a hybrid between artificial intelligence and the brain of human beings. NEURALINK is a company that deals with neutral interface technologies. We can put this in the way that NEURALINK is an ongoing building technique that can be placed in the human brain. With this tech, one can record the activities of the brain. The main implication of this tech is to provide medical aid to many categories of illnesses like Parkinson's disease. Elon Musk is very optimistic about this venture due to its wide variety of applicability. According to Elon Musk, NEURALINK could replace the risk factors of digital superintelligence. Mr. Musk also claimed that NEURALINK could save memories and also replay the memories. The concept of NEURALINK and its objectives have been put into doubt and questioned by many medical professionals since its launch. NEURALINK has two components. The first one is the chip and the second component is the robot. Before going into details, we would like to share some basic concepts like the brain, so that you guys can get some idea of the whole topic more authentically and reliably. The brain is one of the most complex body parts of human beings. The approximate weight of a human brain is 3 pounds. As we know, the brain is considered the organ where intelligence is bonded. The major functions of the brain are divided into various parts. It interprets the senses, controls the behavior, and initiates body movement. Even though the parts of the brain work together, each part has its functions and responsibilities. There are 3 brain units: the forebrain, the hindbrain, and the midbrain. The forebrain is the largest part. It is the most developed part, and it mainly contains the cerebrum. The hindbrain encompasses the cerebellum, the spinal cord's upper part, and the brain's stem. This entire hindbrain regulates crucial functions like heart rate and respiration. The cerebellum regulates the movement of the body. The brainstem's uppermost part is called the midbrain. The midbrain controls reflex actions and is involved in other voluntary movements. The cerebrum covers the major portion of the brain. It is considered the site of holding one's memory, imagination, thinking, and recognition. The cerebrum has 2 halves called the left and the right hemispheres. Even if these two seem like mirror images of each other, each has different functions. We believe that you guys can follow us on this very easily, because this is the preliminary knowledge that everyone gets during their school education. We are more interested in talking about neurons, so let's have a glance at neurons and how they function. There are more than 60 billion neurons in the human brain. Neurons are the site in the brain where information is sent and received. Dendrite, cell body, and axon are the main parts of a neuron. Dendrite receives signals, and the cell body acts as the transport medium for the signal, and the axon sends the signal out. These billion neurons are connected via synapses. The synapse is the junction between the dendrite and the axon. These neurons communicate with each other through electrical signals. The action potentials are making synapses emit neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters will bind to the dendrite's receptors, opening channels that allow current to move across the neuron membrane. Whenever the neuron receives the right pair of synaptic inputs, it starts an action potential. The interesting fact is that we can store electric signals in the brain. NEURALINK makes use of this fact. We have to use electrodes to store the electric signals in the brain. The electrodes must be placed near the neurons to identify the action potential. Using electrodes, recording many neurons can be done. That recording could be decoded to information about that specific neuron. The neurons carry lots of information about a human, like his thoughts, feelings, movements, visuals, etc. By listening to this, you may need clarification about why we have to connect electrodes directly to the brain, even though we have the technologies to collect information using EEG. EEG-like techniques are considered non-invasive, in which channels record the activities of millions of neurons, but this would be in the form of a clubbed manner that leads to a blurred set of information. Just suppose that you are out of a cricket stadium and you're hearing the event through a microphone. Listening to the audience's roars, you can only know whether any goosebumps, shots, or plays are happening. It also applies to the player's bad performance or bad luck team. Alas, you can't get why they roar. Is it for a six or winning a century, or something else? And also, you can't hear the individual comments on the game. This same situation can be applied to the brain. When we record by keeping a distance from the brain, it also elicits fruitful information. But in fact, that needs to be more adequate in a final scale measurement. For a large scale measurement, one has to get pieces of information inside the brain. That is exactly why we have to record the action potentials from each neuron. That's why NEURALINK technology prefers to place electrodes inside the brain. We can pick your doubts at this point. You must be thinking about how these electrodes and simulations work. We already know electric current can activate muscles as well as nerves. In the case of electrodes, the same principle is applied. When the current passes through the electrode, a changing electric field will generate around the nearby neurons. That leads to more action potentials from the associated neurons. By using this science, we can stimulate many electrodes in specific sequences. This will produce a pattern of activities that would give the required sensations. For instance, you can get a visual image. Using this technology, that is with simulation, we can eliminate or decrease the patterns of pathological activities that are most common in neurological disorders. It is proven that NEURALINK can decrease the deficit of movement in patients with Parkinson's disease. You guys must be very curious about the structure of the chip. The NEURALINK has created a chip that is implementable, invisible cosmetically, having an interface between computer and brain. It can have access to mobile devices as well. It is also quite portable. There would be threads mostly on a micron scale, which would put into the movement control regions of the brain. The peculiarity is that each thread has several electrodes. All these are connected with an implant called the link. The link is an implanted device which is sealed in nature and can transmit and process neural signals. Neural threads are used for identifying neural signals. These threads are flexible and small in size. The battery can be recharged when an inductive wireless charger is connected to the implant from outside. As we mentioned before, the thread is very thin and the flexible human hand can't insert it into the brain. So NEURALINK created a robot system to insert the threads in the brain. The efficiency of the robotic system was proven through much evidence. Another interesting feature of NEURALINK is that they developed a mobile control application. This application can directly control your mouse and keyboard system with the help of your brain's activity. You only have to think about the specific activity. It seems very complex and impossible, but this is possible. And research and analysis are going on to implement this technology worldwide. Till now, we have been dealing with the detailed aspects of NEURALINK. It will become a lengthy video if we talk more just about this. Let's hope we won't go into too much detail in the coming part. Take advantage of the video because you probably would miss the important objectives of NEURALINK, which has the power to change the future for the human race. The primary objective of NEURALINK is to empower paralyzed people. This technology will help paralyzed people attain independence with the control and help of computers or mobile devices. The link is a beginning part of a new brain-computer interface. NEURALINK technology plans to enhance the communication channels with the brain and get accessibility to more and more areas of the brain. NEURALINK technology is important in the present and especially for future generations. This technology helps humans to act like a machine. The advanced research in artificial intelligence is enhancing the capacities of NEURALINK to create a chaotic strength and change in the world. It makes humans more powerful. Humans can update their skills and abilities and can even act like superheroes. It creates an inclusive world since it can help physically disabled people as well. The NEURALINK technology can create vibrations in large sectors of neurological disorders. Neurological disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, and dementia can be treated easily with its help. It can very well restore the motor and sensory functions too. Also, it can increase the medium of interpersonal communication. Using AI, the world will reach a point of not being concerned about environmental calamities, pandemics, etc. We hope you guys are very interested in NEURALINK and AI, but because we want to make this video shorter, we are winding up this session. We know that this video is going to be very helpful for you guys. We will come back with another exciting piece of content in the next week. Till then, we hope that you guys have a really great week ahead. Bye bye.